going? I cannot tell you how good it feels to be doing a sit down video again that doesn't have to do with something that's like incredibly sad and is gonna make me cry. And I have my makeup on and I just feel like I'm kind of getting back to myself. So excited to be here. So thank you guys. First of all, everyone who has reached out to my family. We are so appreciative of everything that you guys are doing for us. We have had people calling and stopping by and sending texts and, you know, just being friends when we needed them, and we so appreciate it. Thank you, first of all, but that is kind of not what this video is about. Today we're gonna talk about my New Year's resolutions and goals for my personal life. You guys are gonna hear about my professional goals in a different video, and then I will also talk to you about my YouTube videos, and that is gonna be actually tied in with like a planner video, so stay tuned for that. So maybe those of you who are not my planner crowd would want to check that one out, just because it also ties into my YouTube goals. So this is going to be my personal New Year's resolution. So I am someone who is like a chronic New Year's resolution setter. I don't know any other better way to say it, but I chronically set New Year's resolutions, and in February and March, I break them, and then I feel so bad the rest of the year that I didn't get my personal goals accomplished. So what I wanted to do this year is I wanted to set some monthly goals that I know that I can accomplish with actionable steps for me to be able to get there. So I'm gonna share those with you. So I have 12 New Year's resolutions, and each of them has probably like 3 steps on how I'm going to achieve these goals. So this video is probably gonna be a long one, so grab a snack and hang out and follow me for my New Year's resolutions for 2018. So in January, my resolution or my goal is to save more money. And so I have 4 ways that I am going to cut back and spend less. So the first one is that I'm gonna go through every single thing that I'm subscribed to and that I pay monthly on. And if that's not something that interests me, or if it's not something that I'm using, or if it's something that is not like filling the bucket of myself or my family, like really adding to our lives, then I'm gonna cancel it, because honestly, why pay for something that is not adding to your life? So that is just kind of my personal philosophy on that. But I am gonna cancel any subscriptions, anything that I pay monthly on that I'm not either interested in or that I am just kind of paying monthly on to kind of have. I don't know how many of you guys do this, but I signed up for something monthly, and until the payment actually like recurs, I don't necessarily think about canceling it. So I think that this will be a great way for me to kind of clean house and make sure that I'm only paying monthly on things that are really going to add to my life. My next step for saving money is that I'm gonna pack my lunch or make my lunch at home instead of buying it. I am someone who loves to spend money on food, and I don't know what it is, but I love to spend money on food outside of the home. And I think that I can save a lot of money if I purchase food, make it at home, and focus on that instead of, you know, going out to lunch. Not only will it save me money, but it is a much more healthful choice. I will have more control over what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body, what I'm feeding to my kids, that kind of thing. So I am going to focus on making my lunch at home, mostly because I'm a work from home mom. So that's something that I'm gonna do to save money this year. And the last one is probably the biggest one for me. I am a Starbucks customer. Like, I tell you, I probably go there every other day, if not every day, when I have money in my bank. I want to be able to not only create a savings of personal money, I also want to be able to use some of my YouTube earnings to give back to people. I feel like I'm so fortunate to be able to make even a little bit of extra money from creating content that I want to be able to give a little bit of that back if I can. So by creating a savings and cutting back on my coffee habit, I'll be able to give back where I have been able to receive in such a fortunate way. And so that means that I'm gonna start making coffee at home if I choose to drink it. I'm actually thinking about completely cutting coffee out. If I want something warm in the morning, I'm considering just drinking tea. That might be what I go with. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely am going to stop buying coffee outside of the home. And those are my resolutions for January. So let's go ahead and see what February is going to look like. My New Year's resolution for February is going to be to practice mindfulness. And what this means is that I am going to practice being more engaged in real life. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna commit to 1 day a week, and it's probably gonna be a weekend when my husband and my kids are home, where I completely unplug, where I'm not on my phone, where I'm really engaged in real life. I feel like since I work from home and I work on a computer and, you know, I create content on YouTube, I feel like I'm constantly either on social media, on YouTube, on my computer to do work, or just to kind of entertain myself, honestly. And I want to plug back into real life. I want to become more committed to things that are happening in my everyday life. So that is something that I'm gonna do to practice mindfulness. The next thing that I'm gonna do to practice mindfulness is to smile more. I find a lot of the time, especially when I leave the house early in the morning or when I am just kind of on a mission, I have like a resting bee face. So you guys see me smile a whole bunch in my videos, and that's because I love doing this and I love talking to you guys, and I'm really passionate about what I'm sharing with you. But when I'm just kind of out in everyday life and super focused, I don't consciously smile, and I don't consciously smile at others. And I think that if I can practice smiling more and even smiling at other people, even if they're strangers, I think that that will do wonders for my mood, and it might brighten someone else's day. So that is something that I'm gonna do to practice mindfulness. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is I am going to practice savoring my food, especially when it is a good meal. I find myself constantly on the go, and so I'm either like packing snacks for myself, packing snacks for the kids, again stopping through like a drive-through, something like that. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to eat quickly. I want to sit down, savor my meal, and really, you know, kind of feed my soul. I am someone who connects a lot of emotions with food, and so I want to prepare my food and I want to really savor it and make sure that it is, again, feeding my soul and filling up my bucket. So that is something that I'm going to also do to practice mindfulness. So those are the goals that I have to accomplish in February. They might not seem like big ones, but I think that they will add a lot to my life. So let's go ahead and check out what March has. In the spirit of spring cleaning for March, I am committed to getting organized. And this is a huge one. I feel like ever since my son was born, I really stopped being as organized as I used to be. I like to be organized. I like to know where my things are. And honestly, we've just accumulated way too much stuff. It feels a bit overwhelming right now. So in March, in the spirit of spring cleaning, I am going to get organized. And the first thing that I'm going to do to get organized is I'm going to purge my home of everything that's expired. So whether that's food or medicine or makeup, anything like that that has passed its prime, I am going to get rid of it. It's getting out of here. I don't need to hold on to it. I don't even know why I am holding on to it, honestly. I kind of collect makeup, as it were. I hold on to it and I have a hard time throwing it away because I feel like it's one of the more expensive things. It's something that I put a lot of money into. So I feel like I need to just kind of let it go, get rid of it, and move forward. And then my next step is to get rid of my excess clothing. If you guys could only see my laundry room, which also functions as my closet, like that tells you just about how many clothes I have, you would be floored. And I might actually show it to you guys as I'm doing this process. But I have way too many clothes, and half of them are things that I wore in high school that don't really fit my body. As you guys know, your body changes when you have kids, and a lot of the stuff in high school, although I love it, I love some of the jeans that I still have, I love some of the tops, they just don't flatter my body like they used to. And so I find that I'm just hanging on to them for sentimental reasons. And I don't know, shopping is one of those things that I do when I'm in a bad mood. I will take myself to Target and I'll buy a new shirt or a new dress or something, and I just accumulate so many clothes. I've also, you know, kind of gotten in a bad habit of doing that with my kids. So my kids have so many clothes. So I just need to, you know, get rid of stuff that we are not wearing. So my goal is to go through all of our clothes and donate the stuff that we're not wearing any longer. So those are my two big ways that I am going to declutter and get organized this spring. In April, my goal is to take up an anti-stress activity. And so I have a few ideas of how I'm going to meet this goal. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to practice meditation. There are apps and all kinds of videos on YouTube that do guided meditations. I loved doing like hypnobirthing videos and meditations when I was pregnant with Harrison. I'm kind of by nature like an anxious or a worrier type person, and I feel like I don't take enough time to really center myself and de-stress. I'm gonna practice meditating this April just to get myself back on track and to make sure that I really am taking care of myself and my overall wellness. The second thing that I'm gonna do is I am going to be really committed and creative in my planner. A lot of people take up things like coloring or other kind of like art things, but for me, my planner really does like de-stress me. I love working in it. I love how it looks when I'm done in it. I just really enjoy it. So I really want to be committed to working on my planner, making sure I have all of my plans in there, but also being creative and being a little bit decorative in my planner. That is another thing that I'm going to be focused on in April. And my last thing that I want to try or start in April is gardening. Brian is a gardener extraordinaire, and I feel like this is something that we could try together. I tend to kill plants just because I don't really know how to take care of them, but I really want to grow some lettuce in the garden. We have a lot of kale out there, but I want to try growing some lettuce. I feel like that would be an easy place to start. And when we first moved into our home, we had a beautiful winter Daphne bush, and when it would bloom, it smelled amazing, and it was right beside our stairs. So I loved walking into the house and smelling that right when I got home. So I want to plant another one. That bush has since been pulled out because it just kind of withered away and died because I didn't know how to take care of it. So I want to plant another one, and I want to take care of it so that I could reap the benefits of its beautiful scent when it's in bloom. In May, I'm going to be committed or resolved, or my goal is to eat more fruits and veggies. And so here are the steps of how I'm going to do that in my life. Ryan, my husband, is super into juicing. We have several juicers in our house, so I'm going to practice drinking my veggies in May. I am going to start making at least one juice a day. I am at home, and I feel like that is something that I can totally do during lunch or even earlier than that when I need maybe a little bit of a break and to step away from the computer. I feel like I can walk into the kitchen and I can make a juice as long as I have this stuff here and available. So I'm gonna practice drinking some of my veggies. The next step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice keeping healthy snacks on hand. So if I have peppers already cut up, or if I have, I don't know, like baby carrots for just to reach for, or apples cut up or something, I feel like that is something that I will reach for as a snack. If it's something that feels overwhelming and like it's gonna take a bunch of work, I don't think that I will reach for it. So I want to keep healthy snacks on hand for myself and for my family as a whole. And the next thing I'm going to try in May is I'm going to institute Meatless Monday. I have been following The Vegan Mom on YouTube, and if you guys haven't checked out her channel, you should check it out. She does a lot of things, even just like parenting related, that I really connect to, and a lot of her vegan recipes look delicious. I actually tried one that was like a vegan tuna salad, and the base was chickpeas and avocado and all kinds of delicious things. And I tried it, and it was so good, and it was something that I feel like was really good for my body, but also tasted really good. Both things are really important to me. So by instituting Meatless Monday, maybe picking up some of her recipes because she does a lot of meal planning, or some other really great meatless recipes from somewhere else, I feel like I can really incorporate a lot more veggies into my diet. So those are my goals for May. In June, I am going to practice valuing experiences more than the things that I have. So I'm gonna practice really living in the moment and not being as focused on material things. The first way that I'm gonna do this is I am going to get involved in some local groups. When Harrison was a baby, I used to be really involved in a baby wearing group, and I feel like I have since kind of not been as involved in those kind of groups because he's not really a baby anymore. I do have him home with me though a few days a week, and I would really like to take him to some local mom groups, or maybe like library things, or just a couple of things to have fun. I also want to find maybe a group or something that Delilah and I can go to together and really have some good quality one-on-one time. And I might even find something that I'm really interested in that I can just have as something for mom. I know there are tons and tons of planner groups in the Northwest. I know that Michael's also puts on some like planner events, so I might even go to some of those to really connect to something that I really enjoy as well. And this year, I would like to plan at least one extra vacation. Brian and the kids and I always plan one vacation to the coast every year, but this year I want to do something else. I want to go somewhere else. I do still want to go to the coast, but I want to plan one other vacation as well. So that is a way that I am going to practice valuing experiences over things. And the last way that I'm going to practice valuing experiences over things is I am going to work with Brian, and we are going to plan a date night at least once during the month of June. I feel like that is a great way to create memories, to continue to connect with each other, and to create just some wonderful hobbies and habits. The next month is July, and during July my resolution is to drink more water. So here are the steps for how I am going to incorporate more water into my life. So I have tons of awesome water bottles sitting around. I just kind of collect them. I don't know what that is about, but I'm gonna choose one. I'm probably gonna choose the biggest one, and I'm gonna set a goal for myself daily. I'm going to have the goal to finish it once before lunch and once before the end of the day before I go to bed. If I can do more than that, great. I am someone that really likes to drink water. I don't really have a problem drinking water. I've heard people say they don't really like how it tastes, or they just don't like water. That's not my case at all. I just find myself getting really busy, and so I don't tend to like pick up a water bottle. So if I set this goal for myself, I can definitely incorporate more water into my life. The next thing that I want to try with water to make sure that I really am getting as much as I need is I want to try water infusions. And if you haven't infused your water, I highly recommend it. Basically, this just means cutting up fresh fruits and veggies and dropping them in your water and letting your water kind of absorb that flavor. I have done this with lemons and cucumbers and limes, not all at the same time. I usually do them separate. Sometimes with some fruits like strawberries or raspberries have been really good, but I've seen lots of people try it with lots of different flavors. So I want to try some infusions in my water to make it more fun. I feel like if you make things fun, it's easier to accomplish that goal. And then the last way that I'm going to incorporate more water into my life is I'm going to start eating some water. Yep, you heard that correct. A lot of fruits and veggies have a high water content. So for example, cucumbers have 96% water content. So if I focus on incorporating those veggies and fruits into my diet, I feel like I will get lots and lots of water and lots of added benefits. So the other ones that I'm gonna focus on are watermelon, peppers, and celery. In August, my resolution is to try some fun workouts, or to switch out the way that I'm active in my life. So right now, as a busy working mom, my workout routine is pretty much non-existent. So I want to try something that is kind of at a beginner level where I feel challenged, but I don't feel like it's something that I want to quit because it's too hard. So I've heard of things like Couch to 5K or the 30-day shred. Those kind of things are really great for beginners. If you guys have any workouts that you know that are really great for beginners, feel free to leave those down in the comments below. and I will definitely check them out. The next thing that I want to do is I want to take a fun fitness class, and I might even encourage Brian to take it with me. I know there are like kickboxing classes, and Zumba looks like a lot of fun because it incorporates a lot of dancing. There are some really great yoga classes around Portland. There's even an outdoor one in the summer in the park. And I just want to try something fun. I feel like having a goal and having a time to go to a workout class would be something that would not only keep me motivated, but would also like keep me super inspired and ready to stay fit and healthy during the summer. And the last way that I am going to switch up or increase my workouts is that I'm going to get my kids involved. I want to make sure that they're being active as well. So whether this looks like riding bikes as a family, going for walks, going for hikes, all of those things, I want to commit to doing all of these things and being active as a family. In September, my resolution or my goal is to learn a new skill. So one idea that I have is there's a free app, it's called Duolingo, and I'll link it down below, but basically it will take you step by step at whatever level you're at, and it will help you to learn a new language. I took Spanish for several years in high school, and I've always really loved the language, but it was really hard for me to learn. But I feel like as an adult and being committed and having it be something that I want to do rather than a class that I have to take, I think that I could have a lot of fun with it. So I definitely want to check out Duolingo. There is also something online, it's called Code Academy, and it will teach you like computer coding skills basically. And I thought this would be really cool because not only is my husband a software developer, but my daughter is really interested in science and math. So I feel like this is something that not only I could learn as a new skill, but it might be something that we could do as a family. Maybe Brian could kind of teach us the things that we need to know or kind of guide us as we're going, and Delilah and I could learn the skill together. So I thought that would be something that was really cool. I'll go ahead and link that down below as well if any of you guys want to check it out. And then the last one is I guess it's not really like a new skill, it's kind of like a new old skill, if that makes sense. But I used to play the piano and I loved playing, and I felt like it was something that kind of gave me peace in my life, and I thought that I still could do it. I haven't touched a piano in years, and Delilah recently started taking piano lessons, and I don't know why, but I thought that that skill is just something that I would still have. But I looked at the sheet music and I couldn't read it. It was like looking at another language, which it kind of is, but I couldn't read it. I couldn't sit down and play like I used to. And so I want to maybe even use some YouTube tutorials or maybe get back into taking lessons, something like that. But I want to get back into taking the piano and to learn that skill again. In October, my goal is to protect myself, and this comes in a variety of ways. So the first way is that there are lots and lots of women's self-defense classes that are free in the community, or even just skills that you can learn online from home. So I want to learn how to protect myself. I want to learn how to be aware when I'm out and about, especially with my kids, but this is something that I feel like is really important to me. The second way that I want to protect myself is I want to be really vigilant as we go into the holiday season in October of bringing packages inside the house that we order. I feel like I am a little bit lazy in that regard. I can kind of leave them on the porch for a lot of the day, and I feel like bringing the packages inside is a much better way to go. That's another way that I'm going to practice protecting myself. And the last one is I am going to work with Brian, because he's actually really good at this, about changing all of my passwords and making sure that everything is super secure. This just isn't something that I really ever thought about, but I recently watched a documentary about security and like online security and how easy it is for people to access your information. So this is something that is really important to me, and I feel like, again, this is something that Brian and I can do together. So it's really, really something that I'm interested in doing in October. In November, my goal is to control my portion sizes and to continue on that goal towards wellness. So the first actionable step that I'm going to do here is that I am going to use these smaller plates in our cabinet. So we have like a big dinner plate size, and then we have like the smaller one that's I think like a lunch size actually, and I am going to really focus on making sure that I use the smaller size. So if I have a bigger plate, I feel like I'm going to fill it up. If I have a smaller smaller plate, I feel like it's not going to get, well, it's gonna get full, but it'll be a smaller size. So that is one way that I'm gonna control my portion sizes. And then I'm gonna actually practice dividing my plate up into a healthy section. I'm gonna divide it into sections. So basically what's gonna happen is half of it's gonna be veggies, 1/4 of it is gonna be protein, and the other quarter is gonna be starch. So I'm gonna make sure that I get a lot of veggies in my life, and I'm gonna make sure that I eat those first. And that brings me to my last point. I am going to make sure that we have at least a vegetable with our dinner. I'm not great at this, and I need to get a lot better at it. And we are going to eat this first before we have any of our other choices. So the other night I made a big, huge salad, and we ate our bowls full of salad first before we had our salmon and potatoes. So I want to make sure that we are eating our veggies first and getting all of the health benefits that they can give us. And in December, I really want to practice generosity. I have talked about this a little bit, but my first goal is to have enough saved in my personal account with the money that I have made from YouTube to be able to donate a sizable chunk of that money to a charity or to give it back to someone directly. I have done things like I have bought someone else's coffee in the Starbucks line, which I know isn't much, but I'm guessing that it at least put a smile on their face. Maybe I could even buy dinner for a family, like a whole Christmas dinner or a whole Thanksgiving dinner for a family that's really struggling, or maybe I could drop gifts off at their house or something like that. So that is my goal for December, and I will take you guys with me as I complete that generosity goal. I also want to take Delilah on a volunteer opportunity in December. She has always been really concerned about the homeless community in Portland. She always asks questions about if they're safe or wants to make sure that they have things. She loves it when we're able to stop and offer like a water bottle to people on the freeway on-ramp, things like that. So I'm thinking about taking her maybe to like a soup kitchen or to help out at like a local women's shelter, something like that. And I really want her to see that these people are people and that our generosity can really help them. So those are two ways that I'm going to be practicing generosity in December. So I hope that you guys liked the way that I'm going to be doing my New Year's resolutions this year. It's a bit different than how I've ever done it before, and I really cannot wait to see how it goes. I hope to give you guys a monthly update of how my New Year's resolution has gone that month. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to hit the like button and give this video a big thumbs up or leave it in the comments. I am so glad to see you guys all here. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Caitlin and this is Beans and Monkeys. If you would like to stay with us, feel free to hit that red subscribe button just right down there below. If you are currently subscribed, thank you so much for being here. And I know that I say this at the end of every video, but honestly, I appreciate you guys so much. It's so wonderful to have an online community where I can go just be with you guys and talk. If you would like to know when I'm posting, feel free to hit the notification bell next to the subscription box. I try to post every day. I definitely post videos daily or at least every other day, but I don't necessarily get them posted at the same time. So if you want to know when my video is going live, the notification bell will definitely help you. If you would like to connect with me outside of YouTube, feel free to find me over on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and all of that stuff is linked down below. If you would like to send us a postcard, we also have a P.O. box that's in the description box. And by the way, you guys, have fun today.